Hi and welcome to the third weekly Law Center video cast. I am your host, Larry DeMarco. Today I'm going to speak to you directly about my Law Center YouTube channel, why I've created it, what content is on it, how I think it can help you, and also I want to give self-represented litigants some advice on how I think you can best and affordably navigate family court. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been a lawyer for 28 years, primarily focusing in workers' compensation and personal injury, some Social Security. I always wanted to have a family law practice, but my clients could not afford private representation, so the only advice I gave was really for free, which later, which you can see, part of that inspired the Law Center. So in 2012, I ran for state representative, and in doing so, I had to pay a lot of money for a video advertisement. After that campaign, I stayed in politics and met someone who was able to do that on his own. So he had the tech savvy and resources to be able to do his own political campaign video, which inspired me to learn that because I was still involved in politics. So I then started a YouTube channel, a PA Voter Information Network, and my county, Delaware County Political News, where I learned the skill of videography, digital editing, social media marketing, basically to help candidates. And then after I got out of politics, I then used all the skills I learned in politics for law. So it gave birth to the Law Center. Why was it so easy? Well, because you could do it almost for free. A camera for $500, a $50 stand, and what used to cost $50,000, we could now do for $500. And for all you others who want to be an advocate or do a podcast or what, you really can do that for free with just your laptop computer that you already own, or even your smartphone. So there's an opportunity for we as advocates to do what you only could do as a professional. Now we can make online video for next to nothing. And even after we do that, we can then network. We can make our personal websites. We can find each other. We can post them on YouTube for free, and then spread our message on social media, which is what I do. So back in 1960s, there was a man, Marshall McLuhan, who coined the phrase, "The medium is the message." And boy, does that, even though he did this about 50 years ago with the when the fax machine was produced, he recognized how sometimes the medium that we have to say, what we have to say, is more important than actually what we say. Because using the internet to teach law, to me, is a game changer, is going to continue to be a game changer, and that is the purpose of this video. I want you all to recognize this vast library of videos produced by me and other attorneys for free that can help you get through family court. And why video? This is a study and statistics on how infrequently people read and how much time that they spend on their screens. It's over 6 hours, but that was even before the pandemic. Now it's more like 7 or 8. And where are the videos? Mostly where do people watch video? On YouTube. And something that's not widely known, especially by content producers, don't maximize this. We can index these videos into really tight, organized libraries. Now, for instance, for legal research, we always knew we had to go into a library to research our cases. Of course, it's before everything was digitized. But for 20 or 30 years ago, everything was in a book. But now we can start thinking in terms of online legal libraries. And that is actually what the Law Center YouTube channel is. I created this so that you'd have an online library for you to research your the advice that lawyers like me and others are giving their clients. And that's the whole business model of the internet, to give away your product for free, to prove your expertise, so that then people will then come to you and retain you as a lawyer. So because we are, as professionals, are doing this, this is a huge opportunity for self-rep litigants. And just some statistics to let you know why I think this is just going to continue and continue to grow. 90% of people get married before the age of 50, and 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. So all these people, gosh, half of 90% of society, of adults in society, will eventually have to seek legal advice for the legal ramifications of the divorce, of their breakup, of their marriage. And 40% of children are born to unwed parents, so that means that large group of people probably will have some type of custody dispute. Whether they can work it out without going to court is great, but oftentimes they can't. So these statistics show how many people need this advice, and the fees for this advice traditionally are outrageously expensive, or highly burdensome to the average working person. Hourly, it's somewhere between $250 to $350, or it can be as high as $630 an hour. A lawyer's basically out-of-pocket expense is about $75 an hour, and each petition can run up to an average of $10,000 to $25,000. And the problem is, the average worker goes paycheck to paycheck and doesn't have savings. And again, this is a pre-COVID study. With the economic difficulty that happened with COVID, a lot of those numbers might be worse. Legal aid only meets 80% of the needs of people who seek it. So what that means is, even people who qualify for legal aid, meaning the people on the poverty level, only have 20% of their needs met. 80% of legal needs are unmet. And again, that's only for the people who qualify. But for the people who don't qualify, 9 out of 10 can't afford a lawyer or choose not to, at least in my county, Philadelphia. So as you can see, the courts are burdened with self-represented litigants, and it clogs the court, and people don't know generally what evidence to present in their case, which then can hurt children and families. So my answer is to produce the Law Center, an online YouTube a channel that has advice that I would give my clients if I had a family law case. So because I was giving free advice so much, basically what I did was, to save me time, I recorded advice that I would give in a self-help situation. So if a client needed my help, I could then send a pre-recorded video, which would save hours and hours and hours of time, and I have it as a permanent resource on this channel. So if you go to a site, I just highlighted videos, and you tab video, please note that the only way that you can sort here is by the date it was added. Here I'll highlight all your options. The date it was added, oldest to newest, or most popular, which is not helpful. So really the spot for you to look, if you are looking at a legal website, particularly mine, is the playlists, where I've organized everything to playlists. If you see this, created playlists, that is every playlist that I pre-organized for you to be able to see. Then my best playlist is called the Family Law Self-Help Playlists, where you can, sorry about that, I'm going back here, oops, wait a minute, sorry, I was going forward. I meant to go backwards to show you, okay, the Family Law Self-Help Playlists is where everything is helpful for self-represented litigants in family court. So the other place I want to point out to you about a YouTube channel generally, particularly mine, is if you click this down arrow in the playlist tab, this is where I'm right now. If you click this playlist tab, again, not only for mine, but for any YouTube channel, what pops up, this is the pop-up after clicking that arrow, is basically a table of contents of every playlist that was set up by the channel producer. And I highlighted everything that I put up for the Law Center channel, but I want you to only create a playlist. Again, you saw that before or right below. That's all of them, but this is a group of playlists, family law, self-help playlists that I set up for people involved in family court so that you don't have to go hunting and digging. If you have family law issues, and if you're going to face a judge and you can't afford an attorney, go there. All you have to do is put your cursor on that and click, and you will get a whole bunch of videos to help you get through court. And my second playlist that I want to bring your attention to is family law playlists, and that's general video information about family court generally, which I think is also helpful for people to understand what they're going through. And the other place that you can go to is the Home tab, and I will show you what I put on that Home tab. If you click on the Home tab, this is the page that comes up. So first, you're going to see a trailer up top. You're either going to see this trailer for my Tuesday night live events, or you'll also see something about the first time you come, you'll see a trailer about what the Law Center is. The second playlist down are the video casts. Those are the first two, and this is my third. And the next two video playlists are about parental alienation. But if you continue to scroll down below those four, that is where you will find my family law self-help playlists on that Home tab. Scroll down 5, you hit the family law self-help playlists, and if you go across, you will note that I have divided each group of playlists within this main list by petition. So as you scroll across, you will see that I've divided them. Here's 25 or so custody self-help playlists, divorce self-help, child support, protection from abuse, and general family law self-help for whatever hearing that you're going to have to be on front of a judge. That next group of playlists on this row of playlists is government self-help, government instructional videos. Private lawyers aren't the only ones. You can go to court, county, or state playlists, and the government will produce these because they are recognizing the need to help this ever-increasing volume of self-represented litigants. The other thing I really want self-represented litigants to know is that it's very difficult for you to go into court alone. And you may not think that you can afford a lawyer, but there is a new type of service called Unbundled Services. Think of it as a la carte. Traditional family law services cover everything. It's like a combo. But Unbundled Services are for a lawyer to help you task by task. It's not available. It's available in Pennsylvania. It's not available in every jurisdiction in the country, but it's becoming increasingly so because of the changing times. So what are they? It's a form of delivering services where you can just say, hey, Mr. Attorney or Mrs. Attorney, can you just help me for this hearing? Or I believe I can talk to the judge myself. I want to talk to the judge myself. I'm confident in doing that. But can you draft this petition for me? Or I need some research. I'm not confident myself. Would you please research this for me? Give me the research. I will pay you for your time, and I can handle the rest. So that is what unbundled services are. And we are in a market for this because companies like LegalZoom and Legal Shield are already doing this for people. And there's actually a company called Unbundled Legal Services that's nationwide. So this is increasingly happening. Lawyers realize that they're losing too much business because people can't afford that initial retainer. So where they are allowed to do it, they make it available. Consumers are demanding this, and people just can't afford the traditional way. So this is becoming increasingly available, and these are the types of things that a lawyer does, or how a lawyer can break down these tasks for you. Ghostwriting, writing the pleadings, or let's say you draft your own pleading, but still you're not sure if you didn't miss something important that could hurt you later. So you give the lawyer your pleading and say, hey, would you review this for me? Doing research, conducting research, or handling a negotiation. You know you want as much time with that child as possible, but you don't know what the judge is going to do. So maybe you just want the lawyer to call either the other lawyer or your ex to negotiate and help explain why you think you're entitled to what, if for whatever reason emotions get in the way and you can't convey your own wants or why you believe you want it because you always fight or whatnot, and a lawyer can help. Lawyers can just go to court. You can just pay for that one day. You can ask to be prepped on how to handle yourself. You can have the lawyer prep you and role play, help you prepare exhibits, organize materials, draft a settlement that you have reached with your ex or co-parent in who gets what time, any guidance or other directions. It's basically a collaborative lawyer. You and a lawyer, you work out where that lawyer can help you and what can you handle yourself, and then you can drop your ultimate costs to a fraction. So it's fixed prices. This is actually called flat fee representation. Bar associations are trying to offer this more and more. Private lawyers are offering flat fees. So it's not just limited scope, it's unbundled service or flat fees. So for this to become even more available, you do have to learn how to help yourself. So the more you know, the better. And this is the entire reason why I am putting these resources online, so that you can be better prepared, not necessarily to handle it yourself, but to then go to that lawyer who doesn't offer those traditional services, but will offer you a limited scope representation at a fraction of the price. And there's also a need for lawyers to learn how to do this. And so I want you to know I recognize that and my colleagues at the bar recognize that they need to learn how to do this and make this more available. So there's been a study, guys, that was funded by a Sergeant Shriver Law Foundation, that funded a study to compare and contrast the effectiveness of being a self-represented litigant client versus having that quote-unquote limited scope representation. So we may know that that's better, but it's actually been studied and tested, and you have almost twice the chance of getting a settlement, 54% versus only 30%, if you have a lawyer looking over your back or collaborating with you at least part of the time. So this is the statistics for more settlements, and in addition, the settlements that you reach or whatever judgment goes into effect, it's 3 times as durable. 1 in 3 cases that don't have a lawyer involved would have a petition to modify or a new petition filed within the next 2 years. But if you have a lawyer helping you somewhere in that line, help you reach an agreement, it's only a 1 in 10 chance that people wanted to modify those cases in the next 2 years. Why? Because lawyers were there to explain what was going on, so people had more information. They also felt more supported and not lost. They had the knowledge of why things happen the way they did, because a lawyer was there to support the litigant through that process. Third, there was a collaboration between the parents. Having a lawyer act as a go-between and somewhat of a voice could reduce some of the emotional conflict or the general bickering between the parents. So when things were important, a lawyer steps in and then allows a communication pipeline to go back and forth between all the important people, the judges, the parties, any court officials, was another reason that things were facilitated. The courts themselves got more information and were able to also help guide the parties, because lawyers know what information to bring out of you. Again, I have that's part of that. That's why I have those resources. But it's always good to have a lawyer checking you and asking you some questions to bring out of you what you need. There are self-help resources available more than just the Law Center, of course. The best one out there is called lawhelp.org. If you go to lawhelp.org, you will have the option after that to click one of 50 states based upon where you are. And then lawhelp.org, this nonprofit private company, then indexed and organized online all the resources in your state and by county where that county produced resources. So you don't have to do a search and go digging through what's out there. You actually have a company, lawhelp.org, index this stuff for you, organize it, and help you see what's there available for you. And that's sponsored by probono.net. And I do want to play a video that they produced so that you can see that this is their explanation to you of what they have and how it can help you.
Law Help Interactive, or LHI, provides free guided interviews to help you prepare legal documents. LHI forms can be used by anyone with a legal issue or by lawyers providing free legal help to low-income people. LHI forms are available in many states and can help with many common civil legal problems. Things like establishing guardianship of a minor, obtaining an uncontested divorce, enforcing visitation rights, stopping a garnishment, dealing with identity theft problems, and more. If you are starting at lawhelpinteractive.org, click on Find Forms to visit a partner site where you can find forms and helpful resources available in your state. Now, let's say you need a guardianship to enroll your grandchildren in school. An LHI guided interview will ask you questions, gather information, and help you prepare the forms you need to represent yourself in court. You can also create an account to save your answers and come back later. When you're done, you can print or email your forms, as well as instructions to help with the next step in resolving your legal problem. The solution to your civil legal issue could be just a few clicks away. Discover what's available for you at lawhelpinteractive.org.
So that was the video that they produce on their site, so you can learn what's there and be able to maximize the resources that they have. There's 2 other sites, Self-Represented Litigation Network. If you are a scholar and you want to learn best practices of being a self-rep litigant, or what's being produced out there. You can take a gander at the resources they have there. And there's also a Legal Service National Technology Assistance Project. So this is just a summary or a taste of what is out on the Law Center and other legal sites, and another resource available, limited scope representation. I strongly recommend self-represented litigants to contact a lawyer for some type of consulting and not go the traditional route, especially if it's cost prohibitive and you'd have to lose your house to get that representation. You can get the next best thing to the real thing by, if you have time and you can do the research and learn what's out there to help explain the court system with you, and then just go to the lawyer to fill in the needs. And the best resource for you to do this is the Law Center and those playlists that I discuss. So let's leave it there. We have this is the third episode of the Law Center videocast, and I want to thank you for joining me. Please come and join me every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, where I will have other guests that provide resources to self-represented litigants, whether it be experts, nonprofit executive directors, or other advocates, people who have online resources, people who volunteer to help you through. A new guest every week. So please remember to watch Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Please watch other helpful YouTube videos on the channel that are discussing family court. Don't forget to click the like button if you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel. Share the videos that you like, and leave a comment below. Give me some feedback so I know the type of videos, so what you liked and what you want more of. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. Bye for now.
The majority of family law litigants can't afford a lawyer, and those who can often go bankrupt. This leaves good parents without legal representation and at the mercy of a judge's whim. Traditional legal services are inefficient, antiquated, and unaffordable, but judges still require you to know detailed, complicated, and confusing rules to get a fair result. That's where the YouTube channel, The Law Center, comes in. It's a free video law library of informational videos when you can't afford a private lawyer and you make too much for a free one. I'm Larry DeMarco, the creator of The Law Center. I'm a trial lawyer of 27 years, family law lawyer, and former participant in custody court who's seen the problems from a client's perspective. I know the dilemma of having to choose between losing your child or losing your life savings. That's why I created the Law Center's free video library. And it's not just for family law. It's your go-to place for any area of law before you incur the expense of a lawyer. Subscribe to the Law Center YouTube channel. Go on, tap into 27 years of legal experience. Don't go to court without watching.